Trying this again. Okay, trying this again. It looks like maybe I have some audio here. Is the audio working? Okay, okay, cool. You got it. Okay, you can hear it, Nick? Okay, great, man. Awesome. Let me put this up here loud and clear. So that's good. Okay, man. I hope people get it. There was like 100 people there. There you go. Okay, cool. Now we're in. Let me yeah, I gotta figure out how to make this pretty. This is like no background. Okay, good. You guys got me loud and clear. Killer. Okay, if you build it, they will come. Yeah. Yeah, man, I need to get my lighting done right. I thought I had a freaking hoop camera somewhere around here that seems to have disappeared. Um, oh well. Anyways. Okay, well, good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. Um, uh, back from the show, and you know, tornado in Oklahoma. Yeah, we'll pray for you, man. There's been a lot of tornadoes everywhere lately. A lot of uh, bad weather. Hold on a second, Joe, Jerlenny, will you bring me the ring light? I don't know, or bring me any sort of light. Bring me that one that's in the speaker over there. That anything. Just the one that's hanging off the speaker back there. Okay, guys, I'm getting. See how much I know about like videography. Like, yeah, it's like don't worry, I'll be set up shortly. I'm getting all set up for a podcast, and once I'm set up for podcast, okay. So let's see how this goes. Oh, great. Where is this motherfucker? Whoops, excuse my language. I guess you guys can hear me now, can't you? Okay, so this thing is not working. Oh, there. Here we go. Let's see. I know. Talk about disorganized. There we go. How's that? I gotta. I'll put it like. No, oh, God, it's horrible. Here, I can hold the light. Oh my God, this is. I mean, when I hooked this up, the light was fine until I start recording, and then the light gets horrible. So let me put this thing here. I'll have this done in 2 seconds. You guys are bearing with me. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. We can let everybody come into the waiting room and get comfortable. Everybody grab a beverage of their choice. Okay, and here we go. I think I got this down like that. So I can go like that. That's better. At least that's better than it was before. And this is all. Yeah. See, normally I have this all zoomed in and crap like that. So there we go. Okay, I feel better now, guys. I think we got a little bit. That's too much. A little bit better. Whatever. Sorry about the lighting. This whole thing is cockamamie. I need one of these videographers, man, to help set my ass up. Okay. Damn. The different color. There we go. Okay. Ah, man. Okay. Okay, cool. So there, I'll do it like this. I'll just be in Bright Lights Big City. Okay, I'll tell a ghost story. Tell the ghost story now. Okay, keeping it real. Where's my assistant? I totally need an assistant, right? I fully do. I need an assistant to help my ass because I'm all over the place. I'm good, thanks. Um, I have to get like one of those assistants. Okay, beautiful now. Thinking about upgrading from monoblock to tube amplifier. What would you do? Well, that doesn't really tell me much, my friend. I mean, you're saying upgrade from monoblock to tube. I mean, monoblock what? To tube monoblocks to solid state monoblocks, tube to solid state. What are you trying to do? There we go. Finally. Okay. I feel a big swag giveaway. Jason's hitting me up for the swag giveaway already. Okay. Got a blown ribbon on my 3.6s. Do you remember what Magnapan charges for repair? Blown ribbons are like, I think they're like $250, something like that. And and then you send them the core back. Have I heard plasma tweeters? Yeah, I heard plasma tweeters at the show, man. Lanshe. Lanshe has some plasma tweeters and they are killer. And yeah, plasma, I mean, plasma has no moving mass whatsoever. So it's like little lightning bolts inside the tweeter. They're awesome. They're the impulse response is off the charts. So they're super clear, super clean. I like the Lanshes. Um, and I don't think they're too expensive, you know? I don't know, 50 grand for like the really wicked ones. My thoughts on floating the ground of my DAC. Why? Do you have hum GP? Why you want to float it? I don't normally float grounds on anything. The only reason I float grounds is if I've got hum and I'm trying to like figure out what the hum is, I'll float the ground. But otherwise, Mikey, no floaty. I like to have stuff grounded. But having stuff grounded correctly is tough. A lot of times it's just not grounded right. Two monoblocks. Okay, so you're let's see, puzzle man. You're thinking about going from let's see, upgrading from monoblock amplifier to tube amplifier, tube monoblocks. Still confusing to me. Upgrading from tube monoblocks, upgrading from tube from solid state monoblock to tube monoblocks, or from stereo monoblocks to tube monoblocks. I'm not sure the question, man. Paulie wants some swag too. No hum. You got no hum, then don't float the ground. No reason to float the ground if there's no hum. Why? You can try it if you think it's going to make things sound better. But man, if you're looking for those kind of gains, from like grounding stuff and whatever, or lifting a ground to see if you can get better sound out of your DAC, I think maybe look at your DAC first and say, why isn't it really cutting the turkey? But I get you. You try it, man. Try it, but don't cut the ground pin off. Don't do anything like that. If that's a ground lift switch, use that. But you can try in those cheater plugs. I don't really believe in those. I don't like those. Any shipping suggestions for yes, okay, 200 pounds of speakers. For shipping speakers, you need to get them, depending on how heavy they are. Are the speakers 200 pounds each? Then you want to put them in crates, and you hire a company to crate them up, and then you ship them freight. You put them on a pallet, or you build a pallet into the speaker, and you ship them freight. It costs a good amount of money. Speakers are not cheap to ship. Quicksilver monos are great tube amps. Okay. Keep you solid state monoblocks and add the tube amps and switch for taste. Yeah, man. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about I did find a 2K DAC I liked, and I'm going to tell you guys about it this week. Okay, let me get back on the room treatment that and go over the tube versus solid state thing. Okay, so thoughts on room treatment: get some tube traps, put them in the corners. That's all you need. A couple tube traps. Uh, um, ASC tube traps. You can buy them through me if you'd like. The tube and versus solid state thing. So I've got some pretty kick-ass. If you guys can hold on for a second with the comments, so let me explain this. Otherwise, there'll get too many questions, and I'll miss somebody. But so to respond to the tube versus solid state thing, okay? I've got some world class solid state amps. I've got some kick ass killer tube amps. Last night, for the first time, I put in the Feastrex field coil drivers, which are like, really sensitive speakers, single driver speakers. They're perfect matches for tubes. We put in some 300Bs. We listened. There was three of us. There were five of us actually. And the second tubes went into my rig, I started getting anxiety again. I started immediately wanting to change out the tubes. First thing I started thinking about, oh man, I need to upgrade the power cords because we just plugged them in with regular power cords and all that shit. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking, man, I got to switch power cords. Man, I gotta extract the best out of these tube amps. And I start getting tweaking. My little squirrel brain starts going when it comes to tubes. And to me, it was I did not appreciate it. Okay, so that little thing that got triggered from tubes, I didn't, it wasn't welcome in my brain any longer. I like to just not think about what the hell's going on in my rig all the time, how to make it better. If I'm thinking that way, that means something's not there. So it could have been from the drivers. I've got Feastrex, really expensive single driver field coils, and they just don't, whatever it is. Maybe it's the speakers, maybe it's the tubes, maybe it's whatever. But my big rig, it's kind of screwed me up, guys. My big rig is so freaking good, that it's hard to listen to other things in my room and take it serious. Um, I try to, and I have to do it for you guys, right? Because I'm bringing you guys products. So I'm comparing it to my big rig, but my big rig is so far and beyond anything else that if I put in some killer shit, I'm like, it's still not that great. So the tube thing, man, I'm gonna try and dive back into it. And I love tubes, bros. I've got a freaking closet full of them, um, and a bunch of tube amps, and I always loved them. But man, as soon as these tube amps start, soon as I start rolling them again, I'm gonna get anxiety and start wanting to roll tubes and do all that stuff, which kind of drives me crazy. It's like an addiction, man. It's like I just took a I just walked into the strip club, or I just took did a line or some shit like that, where I'm just like, it's not satisfying me. I need more. I need more. Let me look for tubes or whatever the hell. I don't know. So, hey, what's up, James Steedman? How you doing? Jay's next speaker. I have no idea, man. I don't know what Jay does. Jay has a different way of doing his things, man. He It's like entertainment, man. He's switching speakers. He's business partners with the dealer, and he brings stuff so you guys can see all different kind of stuff. I don't know that he really is trying to stop. I'm trying to stop, and I did stop. I'm no longer switching shit through my system. Um, I'll bring you guys stuff and show you what I'm bringing you, but so I don't know what Jay's next speaker is. I know he likes to tease that he's bringing something out and all that stuff, and he's got his own thing going, and it's good. I thought he was really good as a just reporting from the show. He's a hard worker. He's the hardest working guy at the show, man, trying to get all those freaking videos in. Mediocre recordings and sound mediocre due to the transparency of the system. Excellent recording, sound amazing. That's a reason for floating the DAC cheater. Oh, by Synergistic. Yeah, I talked with Teddy. He's a funny guy, man. I like Ted just because of what he did. I don't really like his products, but that doesn't keep us from being friends. We're gonna ride our Ducatis. He just bought a Ducati Pikes Peak, and I'm ready to buy one. Big John has a Ducati. My little brother has a Ducati, so we'll all be riding together soon. Quicksilver, yeah, Quicksilver's cool shit because it's made in USA. It's solid. I have a closet full of tubes. Maybe I want to give some away. Yeah, man, sure. Uh, yeah, exactly. That's what she said. Um, I've heard of Lumen's lead processing. What do I think? I don't know anything about it. And I don't have a Lumen. I'm not really interested. I'm very slow to get excited about new processing and new formats and things like that because I see it as marketing and a way to sell new shit. You got to understand most of the stuff we listen to and we use in hi-fi is old ass shit, right? It's old technology, so there's really nothing new. So every year people invent shit so that it seems new, so it keeps it exciting for the magazines to write about and everything like that. Now there might be some real science between lead. I don't know. From what I understand, it's digital volume control that's supposed to be good. And so I don't really know anything about it. I don't use digital volume controls. And so I don't, and I'm not going to buy a lumen just to find out. So I'm sorry. I don't know anything about it. I can't comment. So I'm sorry. Um, why use tube amps? Just use the solid state amps you trust with the feast tracks. That's true. I'm gonna go back. I mean, why I use the tube amps is because I had a couple guys that came here from Kansas and they came down and man, he kept wanting to hear Torch One Up. I don't smoke inside the house. And I actually don't smoke that much, but yeah, maybe I'll do a live stream outside someday, and I'll smoke up a stogie with you guys. So yeah, so Drago, in terms of the solid state, these guys were here. Can we hear 300 Bs? Can we? What would it take? And I said, you guys freaking put them in. I'm not going to lift one amp. You go ahead. So they went. They pulled the amps off the shelves. They put them in. They wired them up. I told them how to wire. Fine. We'll listen to 300 Bs on the feast racks. But you know, yeah, I kind of agree. I'm leaning towards going back to my solid state. We'll see. Great band or album you recently discovered? Great question, Jason White. A band called the Black Pumas. Listen to that self-titled album, The Black Pumas. Killer old school soul stuff, but from a new band. So I really like the Black Pumas. Lead is a French company, volume control. Yeah, okay. Thinking of biamping a pair of Rogue and AudioNet amps without an active crossover. Probably a bad idea. Don't have the experience to rip out the crossover of the speakers. You don't need to rip out the crossover of the speakers to use an active. You can use them both. You can still split it up and send, and then on top of the passive. That's fine. This is pretty special. Yeah, man. Right on. OCD hi-fi guy. We're having a party here, man. This is going to get better, you guys. I'm going to be doing a podcast format shortly, and I'll have guests, and I'm going to figure this all out so I can just talk because doing the videos and shit, I'm much better just talking with you guys. The videos takes a videographer to do a good job, and I have no interest in doing that. How's the coax speaker build going? The MoFi killer, Tony. Good question. The bigger cabinet's being made, so I gave them the dims of the cabinet, and the bigger one is being made. So within a couple weeks, maybe less, I will have the protos back, and we will listen to them a second time around. After this will be Rev One. So that's what in engineering speak. Rev One means revision one. So MoFi killer Rev One on deck. It's coming. I'm upgrading my subs to 21 DIY. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that has to go on hold for a little bit because my subs sound killer right now, so I don't need to do that. I want to do that, but those are my same cabinet builders that are working on two other projects of mine, so I can't have them stop the projects they're working on to work on my 21-inch project. So that'll come later. Um, let's see, what do we got? Okay, many choices companies use it. Love rolling stuff. When's he coming out with the 530? The 555 is coming, man. It's on deck, man. There's problems with the aluminum. He can't get the quality aluminum. Only shitty aluminum has been coming through. It's hard to find the good quality stuff. And Jeff is a real stickler about the quality that he'll use in his chassis. He won't just use any sort of cheap, cheap stuff. Let's see, I'm gonna put this right here. Try and make it look like I'm staring at you guys. Yeah, Black Pumas, man. They're cool, Nick. You know of them clearly. Smoking is not good for you. You're right, but every once in a while I smoke a cigar because they're pretty tasty. Tubes take tubes as needed for pain. Yeah, true, man. They will soothe you a lot of times. Um, what manly monoblocks would you recommend for 89B 89? Manly, I would go with old VTLs. Same thing, same family. You can get old VTL 300s or 250s or something. Those were killer, man. I got a pair for like $3 grand. It's the sickest tube amp mono blocks that you'll get for $3,000. Old ass VTL. Yeah, the Black Pumas. Just be you. Word up. Thumbs up. Yeah, baby. You be very famous with podcast. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll try it. I am Puzzle Man. What's your first language? Are you? I'm catching that you might be have another first language. Are you? I want to know. See if I know. See if I know how to say hi in your first language. I know how to say hi in many languages. I love different cultures. That's why I ask. You're the best. Thanks, James. Appreciate you, brother. Would you recommend going to Axpona for the first time? Totally. Exhausting in large crowds? Totally. I would look for the non-corporate brands. Yeah, I mean the reason that Axpona is good is because everybody and their freaking brother is there, and you get the big brands. So what it's a great example to go see these brands that they tout as being the best, and then you can see maybe they're really not the best a lot of times. So it's in a reverse way. Axpona is good to see how some kick-ass expensive stuff really isn't, and from the big guys isn't that great. You like my squirrel brain? It's very active going over the last hi-fi. Yeah, I know. I do have Charles. I do have a squirrel up there, and I try not to feed him these days. I'm starving his ass. Audio, okay. You will build cabinets. That cool, man. Appreciate that. Talk to me after I get the prototypes done. I changed my opinion about synergistic on your Florida visit. What product impressed you and changed your mind and said products? No, I didn't change anything about Florida. What happened in Florida was the synergistic room was better than I've ever heard it. It was more natural. They were using tubes and it wasn't as analytical. So I felt a lot more. I got it more. They were kept trying to tell me at the other shows, oh, it's the best sound, it's the best sound, best sound, and it was too analytical for me. But this time around, it was nicer. So I liked it. Does listening in spatial audio versus listening in mono stereo have any direct measurable benefit to the well-being and performance? Holy shit, we got a doctor. We got a doctor, and I'm gonna call you Doctor NP. Yeah, I don't know, man. We'd need a doctor and measurements to. All I can tell you is how I feel, and I don't know what listening in spatial audio means. Can you explain? Any opinion on the Magico speakers? I don't like Magico. And for digital JCat Femto JCat is killer stuff. Talk to me about buying it. I sell it. Bradley Craig, XLR to RCA connector, good or not? If had to use them to connect amps from source. Are you talking about an adapter, Brad? Um, Thoughts on Odyssey Kismet? I think Odysseys are good. They are at a certain range. I think you get a lot for $3,000. I think Odyssey amps are. Klaus is a cool dude, and I think they're pretty decent. They're made in America. I don't know that many people that have them. I know a couple people that have them. I think they are good at the with higher sensitivity speakers. I don't think they're meant to really push big loads, but I think Odyssey's pretty solid. Follow up to GP, are you attending Xpona? If not, then what brands do you recommend checking out? I will be attending follow up to GP. What's GP? I will be attending Xpona. If you want to check out good brands, go to Joseph Audio Room. That'll be killer. It's always killer. This is what I was talking about reporting on this show. There's nothing to report other than the same shit is good at every show, man. There's no difference. Saw you went to see Goose. What are some of your other favorite jam bands? The Grateful Dead. How about that? That's my favorite jam band. Um, I was a Deadhead. I went on tour. I followed the Grateful Dead. And Jerry Band. I'm a Jerry guy. I'm not a Bobby guy. So when the Dead when Jerry died, I stopped listening to jam bands. So I don't really know much about the newer jam bands. But Goose was fun. It was fun. What up, Mikey? Let's see. Should I trade crypto? Love my Rollins. Good, Dennis. I'm glad you love the Rollins. Should you trade crypto? I have no idea, bro. I like tangibles. Um, Hi, dude. What's up, Martin? Holy crap, we got Marty from down under. What's up, Koba? Good to see you, Marty. Glad you're here, brother. Man, Martin Reynolds is a great guy for all y'all. Anybody from Australia? Marty's the Doctor Feelgood vibe, Doctor Feelgood vibes. I can't remember what it is, but he's got a van. He's got cool shit. Marty's cool. He rides him. He's a bikey. He rides bikes like we, but he's not a bikey. He's not a bad bikey. He's a good one. I am American. Need to dictate. Okay, no worries. Okay, it's all good, Puzzle Man. You are Riddler, is what you are. Okay. Legacy audio speakers seem to fly under the radar for some reason. I never liked Legacy. Okay. Some people really love them. They have a good history. I've been to them at many shows. I haven't seen them. I didn't see them at the last couple shows. I've never really thought their rooms were that memorable. So Legacy Audio, and some people will want to crucify me on this because Legacy has a great following, but I've never really got it. I never really understood the Legacy thing. So I don't know. They've not turned me on. Oh, you have one of these, Marty, huh? The Manly? Nice. What happened to my new speaker build? It's happening, bro. I took it back to the cabinet builder because that cabinet was way too small. There was no base. I need to take it back to the cabinet builder and have it made much bigger, like 4 times the size. So it's going to be a floor stander now, no longer a monitor. And again, you guys, this is not Mikey getting into the speaker business. I'm not trying to be a speaker manufacturer or whatever. I'm doing this as an example to show you guys what I normally try and do, which is show you all the bullshit in the industry that you keep getting told over and over again that we just believe without checking out. Well, this is to prove the bullshit about you can't make it in America for that much. Okay, the old you can't make it in America for that much. It needs to be made in China. Well, want to bet? And that's what this is. This is an experiment to show you guys that it can, in fact, be made in America with a driver made in Europe, and we can make it sound better than the shit that's made in China. That's my like, hey, let's give it a shot. Let's not just sit here and talk. Let's make action. I'm kind of one of those guys. I'm more of a man of action. Just listen to Black Pumas. Yeah, it's killer, right, Eric? You know it, man. I mean, killer shit. I was like, this is groovy stuff, man. I dig it. To Drago, Ethernet switchers with power supplies. Melco. Is Melco that super expensive shit? I think it is, man. I'll see if damn it, what's Marcine will send me some just to try out. Um Martin is there. Yes, an adapter. Yeah, adapters. I mean, you got to know, Brad, what you're adapting from single-ended to balanced. Some things it doesn't work. Other things it can work. Roland can work with adapters. You just need to ask the amplifier manufacturer. You need to just find out if it's compatible with the single-ended, and then how do they do it? Sometimes they tie the pin 1 to pin 3 or some shit like that. I can't remember. There's some things you want to do and some things you can't do. So you need to kind of ask the manufacturers. My thoughts on Buchart S400 Mark II SE. I don't know. I haven't seen. I had Buchart S400s. I'm about to bring you guys this week a speaker that I found for $2,500 made in Italy that is killer. And I was thinking about the Buchart and like how does it compare to this thing? Because this thing looks a hell of a lot better than Buchart. It's effing gorgeous. And it's leather wrapped. It looks like Sonus. It's leather. It's an opera audio piece. It's leather and beautiful wood, man. Wait till you see these freaking things for $2,500. I'm blown away, man. I will sell these to you guys, and I might even go in and do a little crossover mod to make my the ones that I sell a little bit tastier in case anybody's thinking of buying them from someone else. I'll make mine better. Um, thoughts on any thoughts on PS Audio? I don't like PS Audio. Okay. And I consider it kind of like mid-fi level or mid entry into hi-fi. Okay. Um, what I do for brands that I'm trying to suss out is I go to their website and I read their website and I read how they're talking to me. And PS Audio does some things in their description and things that I know who they're talking to. They're not talking to people that know a lot about hi-fi. They're talking to people that don't know that much about hi-fi because they're claiming stuff like, they try and take regular things and claim almost act as if it's this thing's bugging my eyes, man. Um, Take regular things and act as if see if I need to wipe this and act as if they invented it or it's something special about their deal like galvanic isolation, which you that happens in every single USB device. It's code. You have to galvanically isolate. But people like PS Audio will put galvanically isolated like it's something that they created when it's a default. So when I look at PS Audio, I'm like, whatever. And plus, they change their DAC every 6 months. It's a way, a marketing method of getting you to keep the DAC and not sell it. Because you think you're getting a new DAC every 6 months, but they're just changing shit around. They're not improving anything. So PS Audio, the way they market, the way they do things, it's not my brand. It does not my vibration. I'm a purist audio 2 channel hi-fi guy, and PS Audio does not fit into there. PS Audio is every man's hi-fi. I like a little more exclusive type stuff. PS Audio is not bad though. Don't take that as it's bad stuff. I just don't like it, and I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't own it. Um, Prince, you just throwing that out there, Marty? Prince, the artist, the symbol. Phil Lesh played in Colorado. Yeah, cool, man. Phil is man. I used to love the Phil bombs. We always sat Phil's side so we could look over at Jerry, because Jerry would be turned that way. So we wanted to see Jerry turn towards us. Um, um, where am I? Okay. Okay, here we go. Joseph Audio uses optical connected to yeah, to stream. That's right, man. I was in his room and he uses nothing special, an old ass Apple TV, and his room sounded sick, man, which it always does. Jeff knows how to set up a room, because you've got a passionate audio guy. AGD Alberto knows how to set up a room. Certain guys know how to set up a room. Then you go to the dealers' rooms or big manufacturers like frickin' Focal and Name. I went into their room at the show and it was shit. It sucked. It was embarrassing, man. They had $300,000 Name, which was the coolest looking thing, man. I wanted to like that gear so bad. I stayed there for half an hour asking for different songs, wondering if maybe it was the recording or whatever that I was hearing. Man, it just sounded horrible. They did not know how to set up the room. They had the speakers set on the wrong wall. They had them just too close. It was just set up like crap. And that's what happens when you try and do a marketing thing and you send your marketing guys out to set up the freaking speakers. They just set it in the room and they just set them where they think it's right. They have no freaking idea, man. And it sounds like shit. And you're like, dude, you guys, your company's way too big to not have professional acoustician guys setting up the room. You guys just are half-assing your room. So, yeah, sorry, I got that was all from the Joseph Audio. I got a little triggered. What did you think of the Coastal Source outdoor speakers at the Florida show? Totally cool, man. Those things were sweet, man. We saw those. Those are sweet, but those are expensive as shit, man. Those are for big ass cribs or Disney. Something where you got a bunch of dough to spend $10,000 or whatever it was per piece to put that shit in your garden. I'm not there. Maybe maybe a couple years, but the speakers were killer. The coolest outdoor speakers, the nicest outdoor speakers I've ever seen. That's for sure. It wasn't no rock speaker. I mean, these were kick-ass speakers that were for waterproof, and totally cool. Um, Luis Nunez Ogin. I like this new format added to my channel, Mikey. Greetings from Chile. All right, man. Greetings to you, amigo. I would love to come down there, man. We go searching for Atacama, man. The little guy. Chile looks like a cool place, man. My family was in Argentina, so in Buenos Aires at one point. I probably still have family there. So nice to meet you, Luis. Dr. Good Vibe. That's right, Martin Reynolds. Dr. Good Vibe. If you ever make it to Melbourne, Dr. Good Vibe, you got to go see Marty down there. Maybe he'll give you a ride in his van, man. Check this. I'm gonna tell a little story about Marty. So in the penal colony down there in Australia, when COVID came, they were real militant about their crackdown. They weren't letting people go anywhere, and they had roadblocks and all this shit. And and Marty would just jump in his audio van, which said Doctor Good Vibe, but they were too daft to understand. They didn't. They're too thick-skulled cops down there to understand that he's a hi-fi guy, not a doctor. So they saw doctor on the side of his van and they were letting him through the roadblocks. So he was out in his van hauling ass, going wherever he wanted, because he had the good vibe, Dr. Good Vibe van, and they thought he was a doctor. I love that story. Um, especially because it's getting one over on the establishment, which is kind of my MO. I saw a vid from 211 at a show where I was representing Daniel Hertz. Still some great looking speakers. Yeah, man, I've got some video. I was there when I was in California. I went and saw the Daniel Hertz stuff. Again, it blows. There's no speaker that can play louder and more clear. That thing will kick your ass. And then play with finesse at the same time. Those M1, they're called the M1 speakers. Those things are out of control. 100, and I don't know if they're 150, 125. It's kind of like in that crazy range. Um, but they're making smaller stuff now that's really good. And I may be bringing Daniel Hertz to you guys. For you Magico owners, what's a speaker you recommend? I think Magicos, may be good, man. I just wouldn't know how to. I think they're super analytical. Um, the speakers that I'm delving into the speakers now. For us Magical owners, what's a speaker you recommend? You're asking what is a box speaker I recommend? See, I recommend panels. I like planar magnetics. And I've got something coming up for you guys I'm working on right now. But as a Magical, I think it's just finding a good match with the amp in the room because what Magical has that I don't like, it's that it's too accurate. It's too much of it's like a relentless beating when I go into the Magical rooms, man. Maybe it's because they're playing too loud or whatever. They've got tremendous bass, but it's like getting beat up. It's not a musical experience for me. It's an overwhelming, punchy, dynamic whipping that I get from Magico. Some people like to have that, because maybe it's kind of cool. But so what's a speaker I recommend? Magnapan. Okay, Magnapan with subwoofers. What's another one I recommend? I like the Opera Audios. I listen to those. Those are very musical. You saw those in one of my recent videos, and I think those, for 12 grand, you can really. I think they're more musical sounding than Magico. Um, James Chadwick, you saw the Grateful Dead as a teen. Crazy Town. You know it, man. I saw the Grateful Dead as a teen too. I was with my homies in high school, and we used to travel to from Minnesota, where I grew up in the Twin Cities, and we would travel to Oakland Coliseum every New Year's to see the New Year's show as teenagers, as high school kids. We would fly. Our parents would actually let us fly. Now that I think about that, I'm like, damn, man, we got away with that. How did we get our parents while we were still living at home to let us fly to the Grateful Dead on Oakland and in California to go take acid and see the great? Obviously, they didn't know we were going to dose, but I mean, it was crazy. Why am I not cooking? Yeah, I know. Great question. Because I'm on a diet, bros. I have to lose like 20 pounds. So I'm not eating carbs and I'm not eating sugar and I don't eat candy normally, but I'm only drinking water. Um, I've got this little regimen that I'm doing. I need to drop some elbage, dudes. I'm over 50 at this point, and I got a gut hanging off my front. I can feel it if I jump up and down. That shit jiggles, and that is no good, brother. That means you're gonna break down if you don't fix that shit. You're gonna get sick. You get all sorts of shit after 50 years old if you don't if you stay overweight. So I'm taking care of that, man, because I don't want to break down. I'd rather just have a natural kind of a calm death. No real maladies. So I'm getting in shape. I'm trying. Anyone heard of Trolls Gravison? Yes, I have. He's a speaker builder, right? Oh yeah, right here. I just built a pair of his speakers and I'm blown away. Yeah, that guy's really talented. I like his website, man. I really was into those designs. Selling the pair I built to keep going bigger. Yeah, you want to build for Mikey. Well, where the hell are you, brother? Are you in America? Women still glow down under. Well, yeah, okay, check him out. That's a Men at Work reference, huh? Free rad. Um, Audico died. Okay, audio. Mikey, I want to build small time. It's too much fun. I want to help you so bad. Well, fucking call me, dude. I got a phone number. I just did a floor standing pair for 1250 cost. Well, holler. Um, thanks. Appreciate the good comments. Mikey, uh, should I move up from LRS to 1.7i? Worth the upgrade. I'm using Sim Audio. Neil, hang tough. Hang tight for a second because I've got an upgrade coming for LRS Plus, which will turn them into $20,000 speaker killers. And you won't need to upgrade to the 1.7. The only reason you would go from LRS to 1.7 is kind of if you have a bigger room. It's scaling up for a larger room. So I would need to know what your room dimensions are to say if you should go from LRS to 1.7. But I'm going to turn the LRS into something pretty freaking kick ass. Can I recommend a tube phono preamp under $1,000? No, Scott, I can't. I'm sorry. That is Chinese territory, and I don't go there. So I'm sorry. There are some good tube, maybe Border Patrol. Check out the American company Border Patrol. You might be able to get a tube phono preamp for 1,500 or something if they make them. Scarabeo, here's a scooter guy. Yes to 1.7i. Maybe they're not. It might not be necessary. Mikey, starting to cut my own 45 starting to cut my own 45 hand out at concert. Starting to cut my own 45. I'm guessing you're saying you're cutting your own. You got a record lathe, Marty? You're cutting 45s, or what? I'm trying to understand it, man. As from Denmark myself, I know Trolls Gravison. Yeah, got a very good reputation. You know it. He does, man. I saw those designs and I really liked them. You know. Let's see. Okay. Okay. The problem is audiophone market is so small. It is small. From if you make cell phones standpoint, but it's big enough that a bunch of us loose cannons freaking make a living off it. So people like me want to build, and we are building, but it's hard to find the discerning buyers. That's my job, bro. You build, I find the buyers. It's called a partnership. So holler. I got a phone number. Hey Mikey, have you ever owned the Watt puppies? No, I haven't, but I've listened to them at shows and I never quite understood them. Back in their day, they were the bomb. They got all sorts of accolades. It was great stuff. And I think they were groundbreaking at the time, but I don't think they're that great by today's standards, really. I'm amazed. I want to keep building his stuff. The only problem is it's hard to sell because normal audiophiles don't know him. It doesn't matter, Audiodidact. I teach the normal audiophiles about brands and about people. That's what my part is of this whole thing. You are the guy that makes them. I'm the guy that sells them. Okay, so I handle teaching people and educating them and selling them, and you handle making phenomenal designs and providing them for me to sell to my clients. So that's how it works. Yay, sound yellow. Sound works. Could I pump the troll's sound if he heard it? Mikey could pump the, yeah, of course I could. And I like his design. So that's the first part is I have to like a design. I have to look at it and like it. And I won't get behind anything that I just think is a moneymaker that's cheap or whatever or good value. I have to like it. And I looked at Trolls Gravis and stuff and I like the designs. I thought it looked clever. I was like, this guy knows what he's doing. I like the website. I like the designs. So I wouldn't mind teaching people about it. Thanks. My screen was dirty. Agree with no to PS Audio, and cost is way too high for what you get. Yeah, they've had a kind of a sordid past. I'll send you my speakers, Mikey, if you'll do a review of them. Of course I will, man. Of course I will. I'd be happy to, man. I am for the little guy. I am for the end user, really, more than anything. And I'm against the normal the corporate bullshit audio mafia, if you will, that pump product that is never as good as it promises to be. I find guys like you, if you're a good speaker designer or if you're a good builder, I find people on my own and I bring good product to the market. Hey, Mikey, you should pick up the OMA line. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd have to look. I don't know what it is. Mikey Fi, right on, Marty. My Fi. I know your gig is trying to go American made. No, oh yeah, let me clarify this, guys. It's not before I go or before I finish this read. I, it's not about American made. It's about no Chinese made. Okay, so I love European brands. I love Mexico, Margules. I like South American stuff, Canadian stuff. Acora is great. Um, I like some other Canadian brands. It's not only American. So let me make that clear. I am anti-China. China, China, China. It's because fuck China. Okay, I love the people. Some of my best customers are Chinese because I stand for the Chinese people. I don't want to support a country that keeps slaves and does not let people practice religion. Okay? I'm for human rights. I'm a hippie at heart, right? And but I'm not a like a, a weird far left weirdo, okay? That shit's been hijacked, okay? But at heart, I think love and let love. I guess I'm libertarian, if anything. But the bottom line is no China. That's all. I'd like to bring it to America because I think we need help. America's fucked right now, and we need as much help as we can get. So I like to try and keep it American, but I'm more than happy. I love European stuff. Italian stuff is phenomenal. Um, Denmark, some of the best shit ever made. I mean, I love European product. So don't get me wrong. It's not only American that I'm trying. I am pro-American because I'm a patriot, but I am Latino. Okay, so my people are are Latino, Spanish. So you know, the only Americans are freaking Native Americans, anyways. Everybody else is an invader. So partly why you're getting rid of the open baffle subs because they're made in China, and I'm anti-China product. So I really want to get the open baffles out of there because it's a Chinese product. Curious if you've heard Danny's extremes or line forces and thoughts. No, my thoughts about Danny is he's a DIY guy. He's a DIYer that started to make stuff and set them out. God bless him. Okay, not my gig, not my thing. It's I don't. He's got his own thing. I'm more like a Danny. I'm not as he's a speaker manufacturer. I am definitely not that. Um, but he is like somebody that I would be selling against, not somebody that I would really sell his stuff. I thought about selling at one point the subs. We were gonna make them and finish them because it's a joke with that kit. You got to be a freaking level 8 woodworker to do it right. And we could get it. We had to fix the plans, and we did, and we made them, and they were nice. But I'm not going to support China's economy. I'm sorry. So that's why I'm getting rid of them. I saw an Orchard audio video. They mentioned you, Mike. What's your take on their gear? Um, I know a little too much about Orchard Audio and their GAN amp, and so I choose not to comment. James Jam Papa, high end Ethernet switches. Thoughts? Don't spend more than like $500 on them. Yeah, they work. Do they work? Sure. Yeah, they do. But don't buy those freaking Melco or whatever. Some of that shit is like $5,000. You got to be kidding me. I'll say, hey, Marcin, send me some and let me see. And if I think it's worth it, dude, I'll pitch them. I'll sell them. But I can't imagine how a $5,000 Ethernet switch is gonna like make all the difference in the world. Look, my rig is already across the line. I don't desire for any more. If people send me stuff, I will try it, but I'm not trying to improve my rig at all anymore. It's ask the people that come and see today. We'll see if we can get some of the guys on here that have been to my house and just ask them, do you say I wish it wasn't streaming? I wish we had records? No, you never think that. Do you say I wish I had, a better cable? No, you never think that in my rig. All you're doing is like, what's the next music we're gonna listen to? So um they call me Dr. Feelgood. Yes, they do, don't they? Um I like your earlier YouTube video of all the effort it takes to put a decent vinyl rig together. Not worth the effort. To some people it is though. Digital on NAS is good enough for me. Same for me, man. Totally. I stream and dude, I have tape. I mean, if I look, you see what those are? Those are session reels, bro. I've got the frickin' these are the real the masters, brother. These were on the machine when the band was in the room. Okay, and they're still an analog. That beats the living Christ out of any vinyl, okay? Because it's the original, bro. And I don't even listen to that shit, and I can because my streaming is that good. And that shit smokes vinyl. Um, I want a preamp tube video. Oh, that's going to be hard. Some people don't know the Mullard magic. Most people will like that. Dude, it's getting into an area that I've bypassed. I'm done with that. I'm done with. To me, it's God. I don't know how else to put it, but like it's kind of like masturbation, bro. It's like you're just playing with shit to play with it. It doesn't do anything. Oh, we can try this tube and listen to the change, and we can try this tube and listen to how it changes and stuff. Yeah, it's fun, but after a while, the novelty of a tube changing the sound gets a little old. You're like, okay, it's whatever. I can change the frickin' sound with the tube. Yay. You know, I can change the sound with crystals. I can change the sound with synergistic fuses. I can change the sound with a baseball bat upside the, the freaking speaker. So it's like, I really don't like fucking with the sound anymore. I just want to put in some gear that is just perfectly set, that gets me across the line, makes me not analyze, and makes my audio anxiety go away. Because tubes give me audio anxiety because I want to change them, man. I can't put a tube in without wanting to hear what the other one sounds like. And I get it's unhealthy for me, dude. It's like addiction. It's weird. It's the same as like addiction in many ways, So it's not healthy for me. Maggie's with subs here. There you go, James Chadwick. You're on point, brother. Um, for those Maggie owners, do you like to add a sub or extra cones for extra punch? Absolutely. Maggies are useless without subs, in my opinion, unless you listen to really soft or orchestral, not even orchestral, but if you listen to like jazz vocals or choral music or shit like that, anytime if you want bass, bombastic bass, magnepans do not do it. They will play low frequency. They will go down. Yes, they will play low, but do they do it with punch? Never. So they need subs, in my opinion. I'm fixing that for you guys. I was with my parents on a vacation and they dropped me off in California. Ah, good riddance, you little bastard. You're part of the family now, James. We got you. Maggie's with 4 subs. There you go, brother. Puzzle Man took his you retracted your message. What is it? Adventure Rider. Big John here, watching your ass on the big screen, live from the back deck tonight by the fire. What up? JV. Good to see the new format. You need a producer. I know, brother. You want to do it? As if you're not busy enough already, man. But yeah, I've got stuff coming. I've got stuff coming. This will be a better format. Have I commented on the box speakers that came in last month? The ones in your room right now. Oh. Are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the Vienna acoustics. Okay, brother, I got to tell you, this is the part that's hard for me because the Vienna acoustic speakers are freaking great, okay? But when I put on my big rig, it kicks their ass so hard that it's super hard for me to value them, because my big rig just beats their ass into submission. It's so much better, the big rig, that it's hard for me to take that bias for the big rig out of my head. It's like imagine you slept with the most beautiful woman in the world, and now you've got one that's sort of she's she's all right, but she's not. You're still thinking of okay, this is all right. It's hard to judge that, man. It's like the speakers are great. I got them at a great price. If you find D Music, okay, Vienna Acoustics used, they're going to be about 10 grand. They're a great buy for $10,000. Okay, you can't do my big speakers for 10,000. Maybe you could if you got lucky and you found some, but man, mine those big speakers took work, and I had to add some subs, so they're over 10 grand. But so I like those box speakers, but it takes a lot of it's going to take a lot for me to warm up to box speakers. I need to learn how to separate my mind and just go into box speaker brain and then separate that from panel speaker brain, because panel speakers beat box speakers to me. Okay. And so, but I know a lot of people can't do panels or don't want to do panels. They need a nice, clean box speaker. And so I'm finding them for you. Opera speakers were really good. Um, those were 12 grand. So the used, Vienna acoustics for 12 grand would be a better buy than the brand new operas, I would say. But it's hard. You have subs on your Maggies. Yeah, you do, Brad. Do I like Tecton? Tecton, I don't like Tecton. It's just one of those brands that I never warmed up to. Now, it's not because it sounds bad. It's not. It's a couple things. First of all, it kills my OCD. Those freaking tweeters that are all in a bug eye, like it looks like a fly's eye. That shit bugs me out, bro. I have a thing like if I look at holes together that look organic. It's weird. I imagine worms coming out. It's a weird ass fucking thing I have from being a little kid. So I don't like anything that has holes all together that looks like shit could crawl out of them or looks like organic bug eye weird shit. It tweaks me, man. So just looking at that thing would drive me freaking nuts. There's no way I could have that in my listening visually. Now, if you put maybe you put what do you call that shit? Grill over it, then maybe I could handle them. But those things drive me nuts. I've heard from people that have owned them, people that I know that are audiophiles that say they're really interesting what they do at first, but after a while they become fatiguing. Most people move on from the Tectons. From my experience, it seems like people have them for a while and then they sell them. So if there's no staying power with Tectons, then they're probably not that great, but they seem like a good price. They might be a good entry into hi-fi for people. I don't know. What do I think of JL Audio? JL Audio is absolutely the bomb, bro. I talked to JL before they even made home subwoofers and asked them because I use them in my cars, in my car hi-fi. I love the JL. And early on, this is like 20 years ago, I contacted JL Audio and I said, I'm a home audio builder and I want to use your, I want to, will you supply me raw drivers, or whatever, at OEM pricing or whatever. And I want to, will you support, what I'm doing with making subs? And they're like, we're working on our own subs for home. And I said, well, that's great, man, because, so I love JL. JL's killer shit. Nick saw the Dead in '94 for the last time. Wish I'd known then. I know, brother. Dylan and the Dead. I remember that tour. I know. I wish I knew Jerry was going, man. I when Brent died, the keyboardist died. That's when I stopped seeing the Dead, and I only would see Jerry band shows because like Bruce Hornsby came in and just some other key. What was the guy's name? Bruce Welnick or something. They had some janky keyboard players that were playing synthesizers and shit like electric piano or whatever the hell. And it just was not the Hammond B3, so it just didn't sound like good old Grateful Dead to me. It sounded like something different, and I didn't like it. So and that's. But I did go see Jerry Band, man. They had the Hammond and Melvin Seals, and man, that is some good freaking music, man. A Jerry Band show is pure bliss for me. And Nick, I saw a Wicked. It's going to be, and I say something about you, Nick, in my next video that I'm going to post tomorrow, because I was at a guy's house, this crazy OCD dude that built his own rig, that it's insanity, and he had a Les Paul sitting on a chair, just like, dude, a 1974 Les Paul custom Black Beauty, like, I think they're called Black Beauty, aren't they? If they're black, it didn't have the gold hardware; it had the silver stuff, but and Grover, whatever shit on there. But the thing had, dude, that thing probably hadn't seen a case since '74. It was pretty rough shape, but I'll bet you it sounded cool because maybe it sounds like shit when you don't keep them in cases. But the bridge was all flaking apart and crusty. I was like, damn, dude, wow, this is probably worth something. Didn't buy Tecton because I heard they weren't refined. Yeah, and that I'm sure that kind of fits what I'm talking about getting fatiguing after a while. Um, let's see, where are we? Man, I'm losing some space. Whoa, where are we? Okay, 4 subs. Okay, okay, enjoy. Okay, I've had jail since the '90s. Cool. Enjoy the food video. Maybe do some food stuff with hi-fi advice. You know what? And a motorcycle thrown in if you could do a TV show. You know what? I am yeah, that would be cool, dude. Puzzle Man. If I could tour on a motorcycle and go to eating joints, that would be an epic job, bro. That would be like dream job, right? Um, but what was I going to say about that? I'm thinking of doing a separate channel that is just OCD Mikey, that is about everything. Because truly, I am OCD about everything. I could sit here and talk with you about freaking everything that's thing related, right? I can talk even more, man. I can go deep dive on philosophy and other shit like that. I like to talk and have conversations and talk with people, but I'm weird about everything I buy, man. I like to buy durable shit. My knives, my pens, my cookware. I mean, I could go on and on. And I want to share this with you, man. Like the other day, I got the coolest tea from somebody that gave me this puck of pu'er tea, and I just wanted to share it with you guys and this other stuff. But some people just get all butthurt when I try and bring other things into the hi-fi channel. So I'm thinking of doing a separate channel that's just like, OCD connoisseur dick, you know, or whatever. I don't know what you call it. Some people are bothered by the fact that I like everything high end, um, you know, I'm particular, man. If I spend my work hard for my damn money, I want to spend it on something that is a durable good, and high performance, regardless what it is. Texas, Central Texas shipping, JL Fathom. I'll call you, Mikey. I'll find your number. Do it, Audio Didact, for sure, man. It's on. If you go to 11 Stereo, you'll find the phone number. If you're in a different country, you can WhatsApp me. I'm on WhatsApp, if you'd like. And I don't know how you find me on WhatsApp. Probably just do Mike Powell, Powell. Um, good luck with my weight challenge. You're down about 15. Way to go, BC. You didn't strike me as a chubby dude at all, but 15, good for you, man. A pair of dumbbells is your best friend when it comes to staying in shape. Well, if I wanted to do curls for the girls, like Arnold used to say, yeah, man, keep your arms in. Shoulders too. I like doing the flies. You know, it's good for the shoulder, good for the upper back. Um, um, Reynolds, yes. Audio Didact, Ion Tectons, they just seem to need some upgrades done to them in the crossovers and the right placement, in my opinion. Some no res in certain spots. Okay, so Nick, you like your Tectons then, Nick, I take it. Didact, if you do use digital gear, I recommend passive preamp. Not me. You can choose your connectors, your wire, and your resistors. How about we don't have any connectors, wire, or resistors in the path? How about we remove the whole preamp from the picture? If your DAC is good enough, with the output stage is strong, is well enough built, you don't need a preamp unless you have vinyl. If you have vinyl, okay, you are ball and chained to about 3 other pieces that you're not going to need. You're ball and chained to a preamp and you're ball and chained to a phono pre. Okay. Neither one of those do you need if you have digital, if you have just digital. All you need is a DAC with a good output section. Preamps in for a cheap DAC, yes, you're going to want a preamp because it makes it sound a preamp or cheap DAC sound better with a preamp. But a good world class DAC does not need a preamp at all. That's all there is to it. I don't think so. Cost of around 1,500. Okay, so see, we're in a different price range. I think for 1,500, yeah, you do need a preamp at $1,500. My DAC is 24,000. So, and that's the one that I sell. I sell the most of. I sell 1 to 2 every month, and everybody is overjoyed. And most people get rid of their preamps if they don't have any vinyl. X goal. Any tube amp recommendations for LRS? Just for alternate pairing. Oh boy. I'd say like a Rogue Audio ST100 if they still have that thing. Any older used VTLs are good. Those are a great value. For LRS Plus, you're going to want something that uses KT88, KT120, or KT150. You're going to want a power pentode for those to work the best, to get your slam that you need and stuff. Big ass transformers you want. Scott, will your upcoming mod for the LRS work as well on the 0.7s? Man, I've been thinking about that. No, it won't at first, but we may tweak it to enable 0.7s because I was thinking, man, I got to make it backward compatible, because there's a lot of guys that have 0.7s and the older ones too. I want to try and make it work with everything, but right now it's the perfect match for LRS Plus. I wanted the JL Fathom, but got too cheap deal on 4 12-inch Sunfires. Of course you did. There's a reason you got a cheap deal on the Sunfire. Those were cool little things, but I don't like Bob Carver stuff. But those are cool little. The true subwoofer juniors were pretty cool. Got to go and collect my kangaroos. Yeah, talk later, mate. All right, Marty. See you later. Cheers. G'day. Nick, upgrading crossovers can be rewarding. It certainly can. I had a Sunfire before the JL. It lasted a very long time. I want to know what you think of the sound. That's the first reference speaker. I've heard it's amazing. How did you like the sound of the new Atmosphere Class D? I like it. I need to get Ralph to send some here, and I'll listen to him in house. Then I can give you a better feel for those. Marantz has gone back to making gear in Japan events. Super cool. I'm all about that. Yeah, a lot of people are leaving China. SpaceX has removed China from their supply chain. China is getting the cold shoulder. You guys are going to eventually see when the world turns their back on China manufacturing that I was ahead of the curve. I just ordered a Macintosh hybrid. Can't wait. Okay, cool, Brent. Sweet, brother. Excited for your new piece. Um, American made is better because we love what we do and we do it in a clean and professional environment. Yeah, yeah. I mean, hopefully, right? Hopefully. I just saw that there was a bunch of we had some child labor going on in some of the southern states here, and it was in it was a waste management company, and they got busted, man. A bunch of underage kids that were working there. So we're not exempt from it, but more so, yeah, it's about keeping slaves and not letting. I mean, being a communist country where you can't even pray in a certain manner if you don't want to. I mean, that's jacked up, man. American when possible. I used to love buying from garage startups. Yeah, man, as long as they have good product. LOCD, right? Is that what it is? LOCD. That's right, man. Orale. Remember the Alamo. I certainly do. I will build open baffle for anyone. Cool. We're happy for you. Um, Mikey's come talk to me, brother, and we can pitch what you do if you're good at what you do. You'll have to send me some, and I'll look at the quality. I'm a stickler for quality. I'm just telling you right now. Mikey's rock. I really cannot wait for your new true full range speaker. Cool, man. Thanks for watching. Hey, Mikey, do you dig any old school Western electric amps? The vintage big horn speakers are being shown and powered by Korean made Silvertone. Yeah, man, Lowell, that's a whole different world, brother. That's a whole freaking culture. Okay, and not Korean, but I'm talking about the people that like it's in Japan. They have a whole subculture in there of the old school Western electric amps and those vintage bighorn Altex and shit like that. That is like, man, Leica cameras and shit like that go along with that. It's not my thing. That is a Tweaksville, and Tweaksville is something I've been out and I'm in, and I made it out alive, and I kind of don't want to go back. It's like being, and I can closely I can relate it to being an addict. It's like I've been a drug addict, and I quit and I got out alive, and I'll never go back. It's the same I feel kind of with like tweaking, uh, dealing with vacuum tubes and all those tweaky things, man. Every little thing you change has a sonic difference, and it'll drive you up a wall. It's just squirrel food. If you know my metaphor for the squirrel in the attic, um, that shit is squirrel food for me. I feed that little squirrel, and he gets sugar rush, and he starts like doing backflips and playing the drums and cymbals really insanely in my skull, and I don't like it. So I try and starve his ass by keeping solid state and things that don't put me down the rabbit hole and the squirrel food. So um, I do woodworking. I can handle probably 10 cabs per month. Okay. Okay. So we got it, brother. Just call me. We no need to continue the discussion on this video. Just call me and we'll take care of it. We'll talk about it and I can bring it to the people if it's something worthwhile. I was born in East LA. Well, Bellflower, Free Radical. All right. Orale. East LA, man. Um, I just talked to my bro Angel, man, who today on the phone, man. He called from LA, and he's a Chicano from East LA that started this march, dude. It was like, the Million Man March for the blacks. He did a thing for the Latinos, and it was called, fuck, I can't remember what it was called. La Gran Marcha. And he did that in the 90s in LA. You don't see it anywhere because Chicanos get snubbed, in history in the history books. But it was huge, dude, and he organized it. He's a big unity guy about unity between cultures. I got to tell you about this guy. I'll have him on my podcast. You guys will meet Angel. He's a solid brother, man. He's my big bro. When I lived in LA, he taught me about the Cholo kind of culture. Okay, 10 sound on. Yep, sound on is on. Audio didact, where are you located? Any website or info? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, audio didact, just get in contact with me, and we'll figure this out. Can you speak more about the MPDA output section? Okay. Yes. Is it a full blown active preamp with output buffer, or only a high quality volume control? It's a full blown active preamp. And it is not an analog. I mean, it is analog, but there's no analog inputs. Um, what makes it not need an additional preamp? One, that it has enough power. It can run like XLRs that are fucking 100 feet long. It's got like 24 volts. I'm sorry, 12 volts on the output. 24 volt is like peak. Um, and not only that, but it's a dual differential. There is 8 output devices on every leg. On every there's there's 8 on each leg. So it's a dual differential, um, fully dual differential, balanced output section, and you don't need a preamp. It's that good. And I compared it. I had a $26,000 preamp that there was no way I was selling it because it was so good. It made everything sound better. And I put it in between the DAC and the amps, the MPD8, and all of a sudden I could hear how fat the tubes were. I could hear the fuzz on the edges of the tubes, and it blew my mind. I couldn't even believe it. So I brought my girlfriend, who has way better ears than I, and Big John, and they listened and they said, "Yep, you're not crazy, dude. It definitely sounds cleaner, more articulate, and better, and more organic. Even the tubes sound. I could hear the distortion on the tube preamp. It was ridiculous. This is a very quiet preamp that I compared it to, a world class preamp. Many people consider it the best ever made. Um, it's called a Nat Audio Magnetostat SE, and this thing killed it. The MPD8 killed it. Have you heard Atmosphere Audio new Class D amp using FS, supposedly their own design? I did hear it. It sounded good in the room, but I couldn't tell anything because the speakers were weird. I'm going to get him to Ralph to send me some, and then I'll tell you more. Um, Central Texas eBay listing. I want to work with a YouTuber to get a few more orders for to build only trolls creations for the time. So Didact, again, if you're serious about it, um, this is not a place right now is not a place for you to pitch your business on my channel. Okay. I sorry, let me just be clear. Okay. If you want to pitch on my channel, you have to go through me. And I'm telling you now, stop pitching. Okay. Talk to me. Okay. I can no longer enjoy tunes with a good when it yeah, I know, right, RG? Yeah, when they're the 12AX7s are 400, it's ridiculous now. And $800 NOS rectifiers, exactly. It's absolutely ridiculous. People are getting way too proud of their thing. Oh, hang on, man. Hey, Preston, how are you? Yeah, cool. Just holler when you get close, man. I'm doing a live stream right now on YouTube. Okay, love you too, man. Bye. That was my nephew, Preston. He's a kick-ass drummer. Okay, so Maggie's need subs. Yes, they do. And yes, tubes are getting ridiculous now. It's not even worth to me. I don't at those prices. It's ridiculous. But I have a great stash, so I'll sell them at 400 a tube. Holy shit! Yeah, I'll sell them. Um, are Magnapan 1.7 a decent size or too small? No, they're definitely not too small, Jason. 1.7s are fine. It depends on the room, though. You'd have to let me know. Again, I remember, I don't know if you're moving or what the room's going to be, but 3.7s are kind of like the primo one because they have the long ribbon tweeter. Um, if anybody wants 3.7s, I got ones that I've modded that are here that are really killer that I would sell for 6K. Maybe, maybe maybe I'm just going to say 6K because that's on whatever the retail price is on them. I'd sell you these, which are fully modded, much better than factory. Okay. Love Trolls Designs. Okay, we got you. We got you. Fine Audio Point. Yeah, Fine Audio makes some great stuff. Um, we listen to our setup 8 hours on Saturdays with lights uh, turned off, still using CDs, Transport and DAC are so musical. Don't listen to violent. Well, good, Fabian, man. If you're listening with your wife and you guys are enjoying CDs and you guys are doing it together, that is beautiful, man. You don't need to change a thing, man. Just keep on loving your wife and enjoying the music together. And you guys, I love both of you guys. That is what it's all about. This whole comment right here, where you're listening with your wife together with the lights off, you guys together. That's beautiful, man. That's what this is all about, is being together and sharing music like that. That's really cool, man. Hey, Mikey, your thoughts on an amp for Roland 125 for LRS? Roland 125 kicks ass for LRS Plus. And call me, I've got 2 left at the old price, because I bought them before the price went up. They're $4,100 now. I've got 2 left for 35. Which trolls do you build? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna ignore all this shit because you guys are using now my fucking stream to go back and forth and make your own fucking sales. So, okay, I run LRS with 2 rhythmic E15s, and for electronic music, it's bananas. Oh yeah, totally. That's right, man. Of course it is. It's awesome. Okay, okay, guys. Older DACs that are still worth buying that are affordable, less than 2K. Oof. I don't know old DACs that are less than 2K. If they're, oh, I've got a guy right now, and he might even, I don't even know if he's on here. I've got one guy selling an audio research DAC for $1,500 because it's got a little nick on the front. It's a tube DAC. So anybody that wants that, $1,500, it's a tube DAC. Get a hold of me, and I'll put you in touch with this guy. I don't need to be in the middle of it. You guys can handle it together. I can push the TL1 Didact. Again, call me. Also, the late Jeff Bagby's Spirit Wines. Okay, I don't know what that is. Using the complex. Okay, okay. 5. Okay, you guys. Again, thoughts on speaker that use Accuton drivers like Estelon. I love Accuton drivers. They're sweet. You need to really know how to design those into the design because they're very unique. You need to know how to design with those. Okay, going to listen to some music. See you, Fabian. Say hi to the wife. Let's see. I lost my spot. Okay, like Estelon. Yep. Okay, so there we are. Okay, Mikey, what are some hi-fi vintage speakers you recommend for 5,000 downward? Okay, for $5,000, I don't recommend vintage speakers. Okay, at all for 5,000. Well, what can you get for 5,000? Some B&W stuff, man. Some older B&W would be probably pretty good. I don't recommend old speakers, man. Old vintage speakers get worn out. You know, those surrounds start getting corroded and cracked, and they start falling apart. Speakers fall apart because they're moving all the time, and they sit in sun and they get dried out. People put them in garages and shit, especially the old vintage. So I would never, ever, ever wish vintage speakers upon anybody. Magnepans are sometimes okay if you want to buy used, but if you got 5K for speakers, dude, buy something better, bro. You know, buy something brand new. You know, so um, what can you get for $5,000 in a floor? Well, I've got something coming up. You know, I've got a brand new speaker coming up. I'll have them. I'll sell. I'm probably going to make, you know, a couple pair just to sell to show people that it can be done. But I'm not getting into the speaker business. But it's going to be a floor standing speaker, a full range driver, and I'll tell you guys how it is. I'll have one here shortly to comment on. Okay. Okay. Even with the grill, you'll know the spider eyes will always be staring at you. Yeah, waiting for the worm dump to hit the floor. Fuck you, man. You just totally gave me fucking anxiety. Oh, that's funny shit. Yuck, worm dump. Ah! Oh, that's gnarly, dude. Okay, Mikey, not hi-fi, but for the Ducatistes that has it all. Vintage Ducati radio from 1942. What's that, man? Show it to us. That sounds killer. My room is 11 by 16. I guess the LRS are enough. Yeah, they are. They are, Neil. Does your new speaker design have parallel walls or at different? They're not parallel. I don't do parallel walls on my speakers. I have no memory of hearing panel speakers. I would love to hear them. Oh yeah, man. There's no box, brother. Well, you make open baffles, so they're similar, right? And they're made with planar magnetic membrane, so they have a much greater driver surface area. It's exponentially greater, so it moves air a lot easier. It barely has to move, and it moves a lot of air. They sound phenomenal. They use the back wall. They're very open. They're boundless. They have no box colorations, and they have a huge, wide open soundstage. I have jail and Karn at home, Florida made. Yeah, you know it, dude. I remember back in the day. We were talking about it today. Big John and I, we were hiking on the mountain, and We were talking about the old Orion CCAs. Remember those amps, HCCAs, and back and PPIs. I got PPIs in my truck, and Art Series. You know, back when shit was made in Phoenix. If you guys remember, Phoenix used to be the hotbed for car audio. Um, Maybe it still is. I haven't done the speaker building one. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm gonna ignore all those. Hey, I saw Pink Floyd do their kickoff tour at Dark Side in '72. Wow, Jack, that's pretty damn good. The only thing that beats that is somebody that can come on here and tell us they've seen Hendrix, or the Beatles would be pretty damn good. But Floyd kick off the Dark Side of the Moon tour in '72. That's epic, Jack. That must have been mind blowing. I mean, there was nothing going on like that back then, man. You must have just tripped out. Yeah. Les Paul, your brand of guitar, love them. Yeah, yeah, Nick. I made sure to get some close-ups of it so you can help us to determine if it's worth anything or whatever. The first thing I said to the guy is, "You want to sell this thing?" He's like, He's one of those dudes that has all this. His house, he just had a bunch of stuff in his house, and you could tell half of it was like total like high-end antiques and shit, and he just didn't even care. His house was kind of a mess. It's crazy. Um, Les Paul is my favorite too, man. I love the Les Paul. They got great sustain. It goes to 11. It's got sustain. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Listen, listen. Can you hear it? I have videos of the Nomex. Okay, again, I'm gonna ignore these things. You guys are having your own damn conversation in my thing. Please put a cork in it. Jack Floyd, I'm jealous. Yeah, that is jealous. God is dead. We are God, brother. How about that? How about we are the divine? How about together our unified consciousness creates the divine? Um, Charles, you keep retracting your messages. What's up with you, brother? I don't get it. Mikey's fine wines. Yeah, totally. Taiwan has the best tea. Oh, by the way, yes, you're right. I do have Taiwan tea. They came in these little vacuum pack bags with they're little like round balls almost, and you pour them in. Oh man, I love the Taiwan tea, bro. Um, what Trill? Yes, again bothers me a little. That's what's up. Hello from Montreal. What's up, brother? How's the snow? I got a killer from Acora Audio. Val gave me a jacket, a vest made. I got to show you guys. It's a vest made in Nepal from these mountaineering guys from Sherpas that know the best, warmest jackets, and it's not goose down from Canada. It's this synthetic, and it's cool shit. So he gifted me one of these vests, and it was really cool. So, hey, from Canada. Should I say good day? No, good day. You're in Canada, right? Do you drink 2-4s in Montreal? You put your toque on your head? Um, I come from Minnesota, man. I grew up with Canadian hockey. Um, let's see. Trolls over design, still more companies. Okay. Convince me. No more tube questions. Yeah, tubes are kind of, I don't know, man. It's a dicey area these days. I've seen ZZ Top in Singapore. Oh, sweet, man. And Simpsonville. Mike, you might know the tiny place north of Atlanta, Simpsonville. No, I really don't. I'd have to look. Okay, you're putting off repairing magazines. I need to call them. Yeah, James, you can just send them in, man. Talk to Mitch or Mick. Mick and back. Mick will take care of you. Digital volume control. Do I need to? Saw the Rolling Stones in '81. Oh yeah, Mick always jumps around, man. So does Ozzy, man. I saw Ozzy a couple times, man. His little old decrepit ass, his little hunched over back, and his little teeny steps he's taking. Like he's still, but Jesus, he can still sing, man. I mean, I felt like I had my ass kicked after both of those shows. He puts in 50 Coke can size expensive bad boys in every design. Okay. Is vinyl worth it? A friend gave me about 200 records, but I don't have the system or room for it yet. Okay, so look, man. I mean, get yourself a $500 record player and play your records, and have fun. If you like to do that, it's fun for people sometimes. Is the Sonic really, all that? No, it takes it takes spending some money to get some real world class sound out of vinyl, and it is a rabbit hole, man, and it's a lot of liability. You can tear off your little stylus and all sorts of shit that won't happen at all with digital. With streaming, I should say. I don't even recommend CDs. So digital is definitely streaming is the where things are at and it's where they're going. It's only going to get better and better. So to say it's not worth it, you're kidding yourself. Um, okay, just found NEC in a state sale. Powers up, incredible build sound. Do you know this amp? I do not. Found yourself a trusted DG to play records? Yes. Keith wasn't. Yeah, Keith was smacked out, man. I'm out, Mikey. Thanks for the awesome live chat. You bet, BC. See you later, dude. How to replace Denafrips equipment for the price? I've got some stuff from Denmark that I'll be showing soon that replaces Denafrips. I have a VAC. Yep, tube amp. Yep, that's pretty good. That's great. I had a friend in the 80s that could back to the 74th. Have you listened to the Gallon tube amp made by Thomas Stereo? No, I don't. No, I don't. I got my own shit that I'll bring around. We announced a 12AX7 into production. Cool. What about wall outlets? Yeah, they make a difference, man. My customers sit and try them, man. The guys that have way more patience than me that I trust, and Furatech GTX-D R NCFR. They're a lot of money. They're like $250 wall sockets, but they're pretty good. Big John found some made by Pass and Seymour that are, you just want to get ones that grip well and that have a good contact area. You know, just don't use cheap shit builder grade. You can get some hospital grade, which are good. You know, just use an upgraded standard. Don't use the standard bullshit that the builder puts in there. Dedicated line and upgraded outlet. Yeah, it really does. Hey, can use my Jeff Rowland 125? Yes, you can. It's a great match. Yeah, what do you mean? If you've with a pair of LRSs? Yeah. Go ahead, buy LRSs. It'll work great with that 125. Tubes are OCD. There's a vintage rabbit hole as well in North America. Cheapest gear that people keep swapping up more field. Yeah, I know. All of a sudden, Chung Ang, the vintage shit is at an all-time high, man. Everybody's got these old ass Marantz receivers and they're selling them for $1,500. It's absolutely ridiculous. I guess it's the cool thing to do. AMT tweeters. I do like AMT tweeters as well. Let's see, where am I? AMT. Okay, here we go. Thank you for the tribe shirt at the Florida. You bet, man. Thanks for being there and giving me the bat sign. Do I like SACD? Sure, whatever. You got to understand. I mean, where I'm at right now. Format doesn't matter. Whatever file format it is, it's all so freaking good. To do an example, I was doing a demo the other day. I put on Lead Belly from like the 1930s. So you guys could listen to so the guys in the demo could listen to probably the shittiest possible recording we could listen to, and it was great. Okay, and it was like, I don't know what, a rip of something of like a recording on a, I don't even know what they recorded with in the 1930s, 1940s, but old ass Lead Belly, the roots of blues, and it sounded killer. We could totally connect with the music. The bottom line is connecting with the music. It's not about what format it is. It's like, does your music system connect you to the music? When your music system connects you to the music, format is completely irrelevant. I moved from Vandersteen to Sonus Faber. Would LRS be good replacement as part? Dude, if you never tried panels, brother, try them. You can. They have to be about 3 feet out from the front wall for the best performance. But you maybe 2 feet might still work. But find some MMGs, Eric, that you can find. Find if you can find some used MMGs. You'll get them for like $300 just to see what Magnapan's all about. You'll get it. That's all you need to catch the bug and to see what it is that everybody's talking about. Carry Audio, any experience? No, I don't have any experience with Carry Audio, but Carry Audio is one of those brands that I decided early on that I don't like. And I don't really know that it has anything to do other with than I don't like their logo lettering. I just don't like the way the name looks. And I went into the room, and when I was younger, new to this, I would go in every freaking room at the shows in Las Vegas, which is where we used to have these shows, and I would go on the vibration I got from the room, the people that ran the company, the vibe, the what were the guys like that were in there? Were they dickheads or were they cool? And that helped me to form my early ideas of the brands that I liked or and the ones that I didn't like. That's why I don't like Boulder, for instance. The guy's the biggest dickhead in the frickin' industry. And so I just told myself at a young point, I'll never buy Boulder. I don't give a shit how good they are. This guy's a prick, and I don't want to promote anything that this guy does. So, or buy it or whatever. I don't want to give this jackass my money. So, Kerry was not an example like that. They didn't do anything or anything that stands out in my mind. I just remember never being I just remember being underwhelmed by Carry Audio. It's just nothing that ever did anything for me. It was never memorable to me, and it just seemed kind of just. I just don't like it. I don't know what it is, man. The logo bugs me too. It's like go figure. I mean, how stupid is that? The logo bugs me, but there's just certain brands that I don't like, and some of them I don't even have a good reason. Carry is one of the examples. If it's a brand that I don't like and I don't have a good reason for it, I just don't like it. So I cut it. I cut it. You have to draw your line. When you go to these shows, you'll see if you go to a show worth the shit, there's going to be so many damn brands that you realize pretty quick. I have to start cutting some of these brands out as options because otherwise I'm not going to hone it down to my favorites. And you just go on the vibration that you feel in the room, man. And are they memorable? Carrie never did it for me. AB 11 is going to be a sound experience. What's AB 1100? I don't know. What's AB? What's AB? AB amps? Um, Stepping up Maggie to True Ribbon is huge. Yes, it is. Looking for upgrade on CDP from Carrie. 3K tops. Oof, that's tough, man. 3K is not very much to spend on a DAC. I've got one coming for 2K that's made in Denmark that is pretty kick-ass. I don't know how it compares to Carrie because I just don't buy that Carrie. I've never owned it. If you want to send it to me, I'll compare them and give you my opinion. Um, that's fine. Thoughts on Vandersteens? Vandy's cult following. Okay, Vandersteen, another brand that never did it for me, man. And those are supposed to be phenomenal speakers. People love them. There's a cult following. Much respect for what the guy does. He puts a ton of R&D into whatever it is, time correct, arrival or time delays and shit. Whatever he's known for. Vandersteen is known for something. Richard Vandersteen. And I just never got it. I've never listened to one where I was like, I gotta have that. And I'm the kind of guy that when I hear shit that is awesome, first time if I know the shit that I want when I see it and I hear it, and I've never wanted Vandersteen, so that says something to me. It's just never spoken to me. Same with Past Labs. I freaking love Nelson, man, and he's got such a great respect from me, but I've never walked into a Pass Labs room and wanted a Pass Labs. The amps have never done it for me. So it's just one of those things. So Vandy's just never been my thing. Hi-Fi in cold blood. Charles, why do you keep retracting your shit, bro? Uh, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. You can tell who's never owned a business. I don't know what the hell that means. Any experience with VTL preamps that you can share? Oh yeah, VTL is fucking awesome. The old ones especially, man. MB300s I think they were called, or MB250s, man. Get some old VTL monos that use KT88s. They kick ass, or 6550s. They kick ass. They got 8 tubes per channel. Even the ones with 4 tubes per channel are good. But yeah, VTL is kick ass, and they're very $3,000 for a pair of monoblocks. Killer used stuff. That is really high recommendation. Hi, Miroslav, Lusa, how are you? Speakers people made over the years that I've bought full price. I had too bad I sold all that. Okay, I don't understand that. Better to have integrated DAC preamp or integrated DAC streamer if you can get an integrated that's worth a shit. They're hard to find. I would love to have one. There's a couple people, they don't want to do it. Nobody wants to make no manufacturer really wants to make an integrated with DAC and streamer and everything on it because the dealers won't carry it. because it's a disruptive product. It means that people will only buy one piece and that's it. And that's all she wrote. That is a dealer's nightmare. The dealer wants to sell you all sorts of shit. They want to sell you needles and frickin' cartridges and arms and records and turntables and preamps and phono pre's and all sorts of shit. That's their whole deal. So it's not in a manufacturer's best interest to make a one box kicks ass all over everything. I do have one. I'm going to feature it shortly here. It's from Jeff Rowland. Has an integrated DAC. Doesn't have the streamer inside, but I agree with you. I think the streamer should be inside. Although the point with that is streamers are changing so much right now that you have to have a modular thing where you can take the streamer out. If it's a fixed streamer, you kind of tied into old technology, and streamer is a computer, so it changes a lot, you know. Chicago in the house. Android, what's up, Andy? Good to see you, man. Andy is our host in Chicago, and we're doing. Andy is doing. I'm not doing it at all, but I'm helping to tell about it. Is a fundraiser at his place in Chicago. Tickets are available for those that want to donate to Hi-Fi Against Violence. And there will be a banner ad coming up soon on the Exponent website. But Android, as you see here, is Andy is hosting it. So it's going to be. It's called a Night of Funk. And it is going to be all 70s funk spun by a DJ. We're going to be in town in Chicago, throwing down and having a great time, man. That's why I'm coming to Chicago, Andy, is for your shindig. I could give two shits about the show, to be quite honest. I'm coming for you, baby. Eric, or the SF, okay, again. Yeah, sounds like you are the guy from the fair at the dunking booth. Love the headset. Yeah, totally. it's like the whatever the as seen on TV guy that's sitting there doing the whole thing. I don't have another microphone. Trust me, I'll get a boom. I'm not hearing anything through this, so it's totally stupid and ridiculous. But I'll have a boom soon, and I'm getting a Neumann. I'm gonna have all the badass shit. I'm not gonna have no punk ass Rode microphone. Um, Anyways, are the LRS white or black finish better? You're asking other people that? It's up to you. What do you like better, bro? Black or white? I like white because I think they disappear better. Bad thing about seeing Pink Floyd in 72 makes me an old fart. Yeah, 50K plus. Of course they were. What's the reason for box speakers completely dominate over the open baffle in the market? Because open baffle is something new. That's why. I mean, not totally. They've been doing it for a while, but it just recently caught on, and the marketing magazines and the audio mafia, as it were, the network of the establishment does not push. You can charge a lot more money and profit a lot better off box speakers because you have to make a complex cabinet. You don't have to do that with open baffle. It's very easy to make. You cut a hole in a slab of wood, put a freaking speaker in it. Okay, you can't charge $100,000 for that. If you do, you're an asshole. You know, so it's like that's why the market doesn't push it. The market pushes what profits the dealers the best because the dealers are and everybody the best. It's profit driven. So there's not enough profit in the open baffle. That's why you can't charge as much. Some people try to. Have you ever tried your 3.7 eyes without socks? Yeah, totally. It's not that big of a thing, man, but it's fun to experiment with. Thanks, Joao. It's fun to experiment with magnepans, man. They can do some weird shit. You can hang them from the ceilings. You can do all sorts of weird shit with them, and they always sound good. It's just weird. A Cora vest is marble. Yeah, right. Exactly. I got a marble vest. Will your LRS Plus work? Yes, it will. It will. As long as they're the same dimensions. I think they're the same dimensions. It'll work. Open baffle, huge open sound. That's right. Greenville, South Carolina. Word up. Yeah, I know where Greenville is. Let's see. Take off, eh? I shoot the puck, right? Yeah, exactly. Time to daydream. Mikey Golden Ear Towers Plus for 1,200, or a pair of Focal Electra for 2,500. Golden Ear Towers, neither, brother. I don't know anything really. I shouldn't talk about Golden Ear Towers because I don't really know much about Golden Ear. But I wouldn't buy Focal to save my life, especially not Electra. I think those are the entry levels. if you want a focal, get the old ass Utopia type ones. Those were the good shit back in the day, where they were called Jam Labs or Focal, whatever they were. The old ones were cool, but not the Electras. I think the Electras are the cheap. Anytime a speaker has plastic on it, you kind of got to really wonder, you know. Yeah, so I don't know, brother. I don't know. And maybe some of those are okay, but I don't know. My God needs no name, for he cares not what I call him. Right. I ask him for nothing, for he has already given me everything. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it, man. That's the same thing as saying we are born with everything. There is nowhere to go. If you saw my website, it used to say there's nowhere to go. We are already here. We have an incessant thing with us. We're getting somewhere, right? I'm getting somewhere every day. We're trying to get somewhere with our job, with our endeavors. It's always trying to get to this some place that we never get there, man. And you think you're going to get there if you get rich, but you still don't get there because your methodology, you're always thinking about getting somewhere. We are born 100% with everything we will ever need for our life. We are complete and 100% full of everything we need from the time we are born. And there's nowhere to go. We are already here. Unless we start living in the moment and we start being aware of what's going on and how we interact with other people, we're not living. We're asleep. We're robotic. And we will realize it on our deathbed. And by then it's too late. And you're going to bum out. You're going to go, I did this whole freaking life thing wrong. And I didn't get it until right now. And don't be a dum dum, man. We need to wake up. And you seem like you have probably, I think that we are the divine, right? I'm not trying to say I'm God over other people, but we are all divine in our own right. By making God separate than ourselves, we are avoiding responsibility. We are putting it off on something else so we can say, I sinned. Let me ask forgiveness. I fucked this chicken, whatever, excuse my language. I did whatever bad thing, right? Cheated on my wife or whatever. And let me, get forgiven for it, because I'm not divine. That's somebody else, and I have to ask him for it. So to me, saying that we are not divine and putting in separatism between man and God, I think, is to avoid to give us an excuse to sin, if you will, or to do bad things that we know that are not right. Avalon speakers, yeah, Avalon. 15 years plus. Okay, so Avalon are killer speakers. So if the Avalons are in good shape, I would want to check the surrounds on the speakers. Make sure they're not worn out. Make sure they didn't sit in the window in the sunshine and get eroded and dried out and cracked and shit. So you would really want to inspect your Avalons. If the Avalons have been exceptionally well taken care of, the surrounds are good, everything looks good, those are really well made speakers. Okay. So what's the next level down from MPD8 play? It's the MPD6, and yes, it is good, and it's $15,000. They are definitely different. Playback Designs DACs are different than any other DAC. They do not. They have a different algorithm. They do the conversion differently than anybody else does, and the result is, in my opinion, more organic and real than any other DAC can imagine, can try to be. And so they are from the same. They are from the same DNA. The MPD6 is what it's called. It's 15 grand. Call me up and I'll sell you one for 14 maybe. But let's see. Vinyl lovers know right away. It's probably ringing that they're sensitive to. Yeah, ringing DACs are shitty DACs. Do you recall Eclipse Epicure linear speakers from many years ago? Quite outstanding. They decayed away. Oh, that's sad. No, I don't remember those. Sorry, but yeah, anything decaying away is bad. You're tingling, Grip. Well, Joe, throwing in the, what do you, oh boy, what do I do with the bread man? What kind of clock does Playback Designs use? Who gives a shit? They do it right. It doesn't matter. They use the best kind of clock. It's not a crystal oscillator. Any clock that's using a crystal is an old, archaic technology. They use one that is it's an electromechanical device, and it is much more accurate than any crystal, even OXCO. It's the best. As mostly vinyl guy, I can say it's somewhat of a rabbit hole. Been collecting for 30 years. Takes a lot of patience, but the hunt is half the fun if you're into it. For sure, Nick. You are the guy that it's like, man, I would say like you're keeper of the vinyl. I would in our fiefdom, you are keeper of the vinyl and expert of the
axe. He's axe expert and the Geet Box. So you're guitar master and keeper of vinyl. I have great respect for guys like you, Nick. And you guys, please don't stop doing vinyl because if you stop doing vinyl, I'll lose it. It'll be the end of the world. We need guys like you. You guys do it so that guys like me can come and look at your records and look at the booklets and just be in awe at what you guys do. I need you guys to do that for me because I'm not your guy, for being keeper of the vinyl. So please, you do it for the tribe, Nick. We need you. If there was an old school Sabbath concert, old school Iron Maiden, which one do you think would be bigger? I would want to attend Sabbath for sure, instantly, instantly. Way just yeah, Maiden is killer, but Sabbath is the roots, man. Sabbath is like the birth of heavy metal, you know. And Maiden was killer. Don't get me wrong. Um, Bruce could sing like a banshee, man, but just the heaviness of Sabbath is what I love, man. It's slow and heavy. Some of it gets faster, but it's by the time Maiden come around, they were there. They put some speed in the game. You know, there was Sabbath was like just heavy, heavy. I love that sound. So my pick is Sabbath. How's the playback design, Merlot? I've never had one, so I can't comment on it, brother. I really am talking to Andreas about putting that back into production because it would give me a $7,500 DAC, which is half the price of the MPD8. But I got to buy 50 of them, and I'm willing to do it if I think there's going to be buyers at 6,500. But I would have to. There's a couple mods I want him to put on there for me to make it perfect for me to sell. So, what streamer do I recommend? Whatever one goes with your DAC. Streamers are kind of like I don't give them too much um, uh, credence. You can make one. It's a freaking computer optimized for spitting out a digital bit stream. Like that's not that hard. You just need clean power supplies. Yeah, people will get all more OCD into it and tell you need a $15,000 streamer. But if I'm gonna pick one, I'd say small green computer. Did I try Smells Like Teen Spirit or Rush off Caress, Steal the Night on your home rig? No, I'd have to look it up, Charles. Robert Glasper Smells Like. No, I don't know, man. Text me that, and then I'll listen to it. I got the Feastrex field coils hooked up right now to 300B tube amps. Listening to those, and it's giving me anxiety, bro. It makes me want to tweak, dude. It's not good territory for me. I have 45 2A3 set amplifier. Does your big set have the same glorious sound signature, only more power? Um, well, yes, it has the same signature um, as a oh man, I'm drawing the blank of the 100 GM 70. If you know what a GM 70 is like, the big one is a GM 100. So it sounds like a GM 70 with way more power and same glorious sound signature. So it is absolutely incredible. What I found about 45 and 2A3s is it kind of can't play like real dynamic, punchy rock shit, which is probably good for you. Okay, because you probably don't like listening to that, but I like Pink Floyd and stuff like that. I like electric rock music, and so 45 and 2A3 doesn't quite give me the slam and the grip that I like. I like to really have a grip on the woofer. Those are more flowy and seductive. So I like something like an 845 or a GM 70, which is a successor to the 845. And those are my favorites for a single-ended triode amplifier. Um, Miroslav, clap. Good luck finding tubes for audible illusions. I know, man. Harsh. That's so harsh. Do I like sim audio? It's okay. I mean, I did back in the day. I think it's gone a little bit mainstream now that I can find it in like Best Buy or whatever. What do they call that? Hi-fi buys. So sim audio is okay. I think it's decent, but it's I wouldn't reach for it. I've got some other stuff that I like better from Italy that is integrated. If that's what you're talking about, that kind of stuff. I only do 78s on field coils. Okay, so I'm doing digital on field coils. And I could do tape. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should put some tape to my field coils and see how that sounds. That's probably kick ass. I could do tape. I could do all analog. I could do tape and tape through to tube amps, tape through a tube preamp to tube amps, and then to the field coils. And I bet you that would be pretty sick. That's the way I like to do shit. Is just do it all one way. You know, go big or go home. You know, do it all or do it none. Audible Illusions runs the tubes aggressively. Oh, that's too bad when they crank them up like that. You need one. They ship with select Softex. OCD, it's about time you grab your helmet and jump on two wheels and twist the throttle and head for some tacos. Word up, man. You ain't kidding, bro. Quiet. OCD versus the Audio Mafia. Right? They don't have much to say. They freak out, man. I get them upset. I'm like a disruptive energy for them. They get all sorts of nervous around me. It's kind of funny. What are your thoughts on adding the Magnapan ribbon tweeter to the smaller Maggies? It'd be super cool. Smaller 3.7s. That'd be freaking wicked, Ronald. I mean, if they did something like that, it would be so epic. And then you could make it into a three-way because they'd already have a tweeter you could use as a mid-range. Naked Maggies? Yeah, they're okay. They look ugly as shit, though. I had them in my rig for a while, and they're just ugly as sin naked. You know, I can show you what I did with mine. Luxman? Oh, it's okay. You know, I mean, Luxman, it's like, look, it's like Marantz or something like that. It's Luxman's Pioneer. It's Japanese. Yeah, it's higher end Japanese, but it's you know, it's Japanese mainstream stuff. So it's cool. But I don't think it's the end all be all. The one I really can't stand is frickin' Hagel. That shit is nasty. Now is the forever you have always been looking for. Huh? What about global predators like Monsanto and Lockheed? Oh yeah, dude, don't get me started on the Bilderberg shit. Yeah, man, we're fucked, dude. I mean, if you really, I just really want to preserve my little fucking freedom. That's all. I don't give a shit what they do. You know, whatever. Just don't infringe on my shit. You know, I don't know about Lockheed. I don't know what Lockheed's up to, but I know what Monsanto is up to controlling the food supply. I don't know. Lockheed is what, man, missiles, you know, or something, or like fucking jets. G'day from Melbourne, Eugene, dude. Korean from Melbourne. Is that what you got down there, Eugene? All right. 안녕하세요. Man, you got to look up. Doctor Good Vibe Audio. Man, meet. I hope you meet Martin down there. Martin. What's his last name? Martin Reynolds. Marty Reynolds. Doctor Good Vibe in Melbourne. Find him, man. He's your connection. He's a good guy. You want to meet him. Timex. No, Abel. Atomic. Uh-oh, you guys are throwing words out, man. You're starting to trip me out. Mikey, thanks for going to the distance on this live chat. You might want to check my she's an angel, my SO. What's that SO? Check on your significant other. Oh, yeah, I know. I know she's getting ignored right now. I have to get back to her. War Pigs. Yeah, War Pigs is an epic tune, bro. Hardcore. I mean, that is a deep ass tune. It's so, I mean, you listen to War Pigs now and it's like, it's so meaningful. It's not even funny, bro. Bill Ward, what a fucking drummer. For real, man. Pay attention to that guy. You know, um, yeah, big time. Heron Vespa 3A versus Convergent Audio Ultimate. Oh man, that's for somebody else. I got no idea. I mean, I don't. Heron Audio is supposed to be good. Convergent Audio, that's old stuff, isn't it? Are those companies still in business? What's the next step up from Pass Labs? It's not necessarily a step up. Pass Labs is built very well. It's just a weird. The sound is a little different. I like something I'm going to show you guys in a day or so. The newest brand that I've taken on that's solid state is Viola Labs, which comes from Cello, which comes from Mark Levinson, which was the pinnacle. Cello was the pinnacle of hi-fi. Everything went downhill from that era and from those designs. He has legendary designs. Viola Labs is the continuation of that. And to this day, they're still made in Connecticut. And or Mark Levinson. I like Mark Levinson better than Pass Labs and Viola Labs. Best way to ground analog balanced XLR and between pieces. Fuck if I know, dude. I just use them, bro. You know, I don't know. Just buy a good cable. Regardless of level of innovation, 100K piece on the new Boris and bookshelf seems like insanity. It is insanity. Good engineering is not always about reaching for more expensive options. Thoughts? Okay, my thoughts, Rashawn, are that it was interesting to see because it's let's take something like a bookshelf and let's stretch it to the moon. Let's take it as far as we can go. Let's. There's no shortcomings in that speaker. They put everything they freaking have into it. Every part of research and development that they could come up with, they threw it at that speaker. So it's a statement of what can be done. That's what it's a statement piece. I don't think it's meant to be a value. It's meant to be a statement piece for those that want a piece that's been designed like that. There are people that own 100+ foot yachts. There are people that own jet airplanes. Those people buy $100,000 speakers because $100,000 falls out of their ass and they don't even miss it. So, for most of us, 100K for bookshelves doesn't make sense. But there are buyers out there for that. And what's cool is that I think they are giving R&D at a commensurate level. My thoughts are that that is something that I think I can't say it's worth it because it's hard for me to wrap my head around that because it's not in my wheelhouse. But for the people that can, I think they're getting it's hard they are getting their money's worth, right? Because of the level of R&D that went into those speakers is staggering. It's high level. So, yeah, is it too much? For me, it is. Yeah, is it a super cool speaker? I think it was super cool. Did it sound phenomenal? It sounded phenomenal. So it's one of those things that's hard. It's like seeing, a McLaren and saying, is it worth $1 million? Not to me, it's not, but it's a wicked piece of engineering, man. You go up to it and you look close at it and you look at the suspension and you look at the componentry and you're blown away. Look at a freaking, what's that other one? Not a McLaren, but a oh damn, what's that thing called? It's so gaudy. They're the Pagani. It's like the biggest show off car ever. It's disgusting what they put into it, but the amount of detail that goes into it, it's so overkill OCD in Pagani cars. It's ridiculous. And you look at every little bolt is titanium. Every freaking underneath the seat, the bolts are titanium. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that's one of those things, man. It's not for us mere mortals. It's for other people. Let's see. Oh, I play Rat and Acid Bath punk electronic music. Okay, great. And have it. Oh, you do with your four. Okay. And I bet that huge set would have more slam. It would for sure. If you want some big, man, I've got a pair of the one down from the top, the Magma M's that are 30K, that I would sell right now for 15, because I've had them here for a second, and it takes a unique buyer for those. So if you look it up, and not the Magma New, which is 40K, but the Magma M is 30K per pair. I've got one of those. They were only mine. They're upgraded with the highest quality transformers. I would sell them for half price. So if you want, give me a holler and I'll sell them to you. What integrated are you recommending for the source point 10s? That's funny. That's really funny. Oh, sorry, Rob. I don't like the source point 10s. But I will be showing you some integrateds from Italy that I'm bringing in that have tubes in them. They're tube front end MOSFET output, or I can't remember if they're MOSFET or bipolar, but they're hybrid. They sound killer. Old Arcam power amps from the 90s. I never liked Arcam's another brand I don't like. Arcam or Air, AYRE. I don't like either of those brands. You said Hegel is nasty. All the reviews are good. Okay, so that is proof to you that the books are cooked. That is proof to you that it's bullshit. Okay, Hegel is a media sweetheart. Okay, so it's something that there is a plentiful supply. They've checked the supply chain. They know it's good. They know they can provide 1,000,001 of them. So they pimp it on the magazines so they can make a ton of money. Okay, You don't know how many customers call me up and say, Mikey, I need you to help me with hi-fi. Like, please help. I bought all the shit that the reviewers said were great, and my rig sucks. It's not doing it. I spent 100 grand, or I spent 50 grand, and I'm not getting what I was promised. So um, Hagel is horrible to me. I mean, I listen. It sounded so bad at the show, and it's just not my thing. I don't like it. I think it's not good, man. Go for Luxman if you want something like that. Go for Luxman. Luxman will do you better. Hagel's cheap, um, in my opinion. And again, this is just my opinion, and that's why you come here to this channel, right? Is for my opinion, not for somebody else's opinion. If you want the magazine's opinion, see where that gets you. Okay. If you listen to my opinion, I think you might have different results. You'll probably get out of hi-fi, which is my goal, is to get you guys out of it. I don't want you guys to sit here chasing your tail over and over, which is what normal dealers, the magazines, everybody, they're out of jobs if they get you out of hi-fi. Okay. I don't need to worry about that. Okay. So I figure if I get you guys across the line out of hi-fi, um, I can do it enough times. I'll be successful. I'm 50 now. I can do it for 10 more years, 20 more years, whatever. And take care of one person after another and be fine. So low end Maggies you use for tweeter and mid range. Yes. Yes. Yeah, Charles, just reading that. Okay, Eugene. Yes, you are Korean. Dude, I don't know, chance, right, with hi-fi. Dude, I love me galbi. I love me galbi and mulnaengmyeon, and I've got kimchi in my refrigerator right now, bro. I love Korean food, and I love Korean culture. I've been there twice to Seoul. LG paid for me to come with Mark Levinson. It was fun. We stayed in Sochogu, Gangnam style. I stayed at the JW Marriott. That was fun, bro. I was living on the corporate dole there for a week, and it was fun. I ate the best food. Just got notification of OCD. Love chat. Yeah, buddy. Good. Love chat. Live chat. Okay. I was like, love chat. Okay. What's up, guys? Martin Logan XF100 Emotiva. Any alternatives that compete at that price range? No, nothing competes with Emotiva in the price range. Emotiva costs peanuts. It's nothing. They cost nothing. They're, inexpensive. Remind me again the brand of subwoofers you recommend. Well, okay, for what? I'm coming up with some. I don't recommend you guys go out. If you guys want, I will be developing subwoofers this year, and I'm very close, and I've got some things that don't include plate amps, man. I've got a cooler solution, I believe. I'm still coming to Munich. I may be, Joao. I very well may be. I need to see. I'm trying to see if I can go visit somebody that wants to pay for my ticket. Am I still coming? I would love to come to Munich, though. I love the trip. Pagani is car jewelry. It's ridiculous. I actually looked in one. I was at Pebble Beach this year, and I looked in one. Excuse me. I looked in one, and I was actually disgusted. I was disgusted. I was like, it's so overly done inside. It looked like a Gucci purse inside there. It looked like something Kim Kardashian would drive. It was disgusting. Or like some like Kanye West or some rapper or some shit. It was just so overdone. It was disgusting. What do you think of Rel's high level connections? Oh God, dude, Dan, I'm getting hit with it right in the hot button. I can't stand our Rel's high level connection. It's bullshit. I'll tell you why. Now it works, okay? It works. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. A couple things though, okay? You don't hook up a freaking other speaker along with your mains to your amps. Okay? Just think how stupid that sounds. Go to your amp and put a second speaker onto there. We're going to run two speakers on each side instead of one speaker. Okay? So who would do that and ever do that? The reason that Rel does that is because they can stuff a sub into every system that way. There's nothing to stop you from putting a sub into your rig if you hook it up that way. If you hook it up I call it the right way. Okay, you do it line level from your preamp or from your crossover. That means you either need a crossover or you need a preamp that has dual outputs. Not everybody has dual outputs. So for marketing, they make you hook it onto the amp so that it's for convenience, so that so they can sell more subs. And it was a fantastic marketing decision. It's been great for their business, but it is bullshit, bro. It blows. If you don't hook that thing up right on a Jeff Rowland amp, you blow it up. Jeff Rowland told me Rel subs are responsible for more repairs on my amps than anything. Okay, because Rel doesn't tell you in big red letters, don't hook the black wire up to the black binding post on the amp with balanced amps or with Class D amps either. Some of those, it blows them up. So Rel, screw Rel. I mean, I hate to be a dick, but screw Rel, man. Screw them. And then the subwoofers do sound good. They sound good, but screw them. We got better ways of doing it. Which type of components in the Levinson lineup do you think is their strength and weakness? And there's nothing strong in Mark Levinson at this point. That brand is a has-been. It's over with. They're no good anymore. Nothing. I would not buy a damn thing from Mark Levinson, that brand. Harman, okay? Mark Levinson, the man, has a brand called Daniel Hertz. That's what you buy from, okay? Or you buy from his previous company, Cello, which is Viola Labs that I carry, okay? Those are the real Mark Levinson stuff. Everything else is Harman. Mark Levinson hasn't been involved with Mark Levinson since the 1980s. So it's all just jokers trying to play Mark Levinson, trying to do what they think Mark would do, and they've failed at it. Mark is way better than they are. And they're a corporate entity now anyways. These guys are not the best designers in the industry. There are those that have little concept of anything other than do they want and ensure they get without respective cost. Right. What do they want? Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Right. Of course. These are people that buy planes and boats and things like that. So to buy hi-fi is not even on. It doesn't matter what it costs. Hi-fi can't cause them any concern. Even the highest end hi-fi in the world is not even a concern to them. It's like a car. Anybody that buys boats or planes, cars, they can get any car. It doesn't matter. It's not even a concern. There is no car that's going to break them. There's no car that's going to hurt their pocketbook. You know, you can't do it with a car, and you definitely can't do it with a hi-fi rig. Are the Maggie LRS in stock? They are back ordered. Yeah, you got to wait. You got to wait months. It lives. Yes, it does. Are you talking about Unison Research? Yes, I am. Very good. Looking at some old Carver amps. I don't like Carver. Living on capital disability pension and new high end is way out of reach. Yeah, then fuck Carver might work great, man. You know, look, whatever connects you to the music, bro. Source points were a predictable disappointment. But they did not disappoint. Well, I'm happy for you. You supported a communist regime. Thoughts on big tannoys? They look like old man furniture. Thoughts on John Curl amp topology? It's not my thing. It's PS audio type stuff. You know, that's like or like Parasound or whatever. You know, it's I like different designers for amp. Have you talked about Magnapan sub? No, I can do one better. Have you ever heard or played around with Border Patrol DAC? Yes, good for the money. $1,500. Good for the money. Made in USA. Yeah, I try to keep it real, man. Man, people get their panties in a bind, bro, for me telling it like it is. It's a tough job. When hooking up the subwoofer to a fully balanced integrated amp without pre-outs, can you hook up the sub to the speaker terminals directly? You can with a rel, but I totally don't recommend it. I mean, sure, with a rel, you can hook it up to the speaker terminals, but you should definitely not hook a passive sub up. You need to have electronics in there that make it, otherwise your amp is going to see like 1 ohm and you're going to be bumming, dude. It's going to cook your amp. You're talking on Unison Research. I'm carrying Unison Research. I will be bringing it to you guys shortly. Do you still design and build amps? I do not. Emotiva amps are made in China. They are, the boards are made in China. From what I know, they are assembled here. But yeah, the boards are stuffed and made in China. If you want Chinese stuff, but that's why he has them so cheap. If you want cheap Chinese stuff, buy Emotiva. You know, I personally don't like supporting that regime. They did seriously disappoint. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you said they did not disappoint. They did seriously disappoint. Okay, so yeah, I didn't think they were that great either. They were, dude, I got taken, dude. It was like the frickin' marketing worked on me, you know? I was looking at 20 grand, 20 grand, 20 grand at the show, and then I saw 4 grand, and I was like, whoa, 4 grand, awesome, cool. And I love the guy who's the MoFi CEO. He's a friend of mine. And then I was like, later on, you know, it was like, wait, where are these made? Oh, they're made in China. Holy shit, I can't sell them, you know? And then it was like, well, I can't just tell people I'm not going to sell because they're not made in China. I need to show you guys that they can be made in America. Now I have to make some to prove it, so I'm not a dick just talking smack. I actually can. I'm bringing action, you know. So I'm making some that will beat them for $4,000 made in USA, and they're going to be floor standers. Tamaki Dak, yeah, too sharp. I don't like it, man. Mola Mola, I don't think is that great. It's very well marketed. It's fun to say Tambaki. What a fun name to talk to say and throw that word around. But it's too sharp. It's not. It's not organic. And I've got Dax that whoop its ass. In terms of organic, look, some people may like analytical stuff like that. You know, I don't like Mola Mola anything. I have customers that got the playback designs and were like, dude, I can't stand the Mola Mola. You know, excellent. Yeah, okay. So Mike likes it. Cool, Mike. There are some buyers for it. Some people likes it. I don't like Tambeki, and I don't like Mola Mola. I've got other brands for Class D that I think are better designers than Bruno Puzzi. When is your next 11 stereo demo? Um, uh, I don't know. Tomorrow, I've got one. Considering an integrated amp, any experience with Jeff Rowland Damon? Yeah, I've got a Damon here and Continuum S2. Man, if you can find a Continuum S2, go for it. The Damon will put the nail in the coffin. The Damon's the last thing you ever buy. Um, you know, I've got a Damon here that I can offer at a pretty good price because it's a demo. And I haven't done my video yet on the Damon, but that is a sweet amp. Going back for short trip to Denmark. I mean, the Damon is 1,600 watts per channel at 8 ohms. It drives anything. It's incredible. It's going back for a short trip to Denmark next week, trying to listen to a brand called Gato. You know them. Heard a little bit about them. The interesting. Tell me what you think. Am I still making cables? I am still making well, okay. My company's still in business, Mike, but I'm not making cables anymore. I won't do it. I can't. I can't keep up. And I had it outsourced to a one-man operation, and he closed his doors. So I redid the whole line, and I've got it with contract manufacturers now. My cables will be back available to the tribe only, and they will be starting very shortly. I will do an email to everybody that's on the tribe. Some of you got notified about this video. You will get notified about my production runs of cables that I will be offering at wholesale direct to my tribe. You guys will have a limited amount. And you'll be able to buy them out, buy as many as you want, and yeah. So I'll be bringing the cables. The cables are very much. They've been this year. They've been behind the scenes getting built. Um, source points. Source points kept their promise to disappoint. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, in typical form, I mean, for MoFi, which sucks. I'm telling you, I know the CEO. I like that guy. He's a cool guy. I like him a lot. But yeah, and I think he's the CEO. And again, the CEO is not the founder. The CEO is like the business guy, who is just the sort of front man. But yeah, I know. I mean, MoFi disappointed people a couple different ways. What do I think of Totem? Great brand that went like home theater. So now they're kind of home theater stuff and like in wall and whatever. They went kind of commercial audio. So Totem was killer at one point, and then like 2 channel shit, and then they went into like whole house audio and all that kind of stuff. They kind of went into installer stuff. So Totem's not even on my radar. Not Mitch, Mick. Think of Mick Jagger. Yep, Mick, James Chadwick, Mick at Magnapan. Wish that Counterpoint was still around. Mike Elliott. I don't even know him. 100% design, engineered, and built. Yeah, cool. Chris Almer. I'm not a dick. I just rock out with my cock out. You know it, dude. Well, let's see. I mac out with my sack out. How about that? I just had to make that up real quick. I don't want to put the cock out. I think I'll put the sack out instead. So I'm gonna mac out with my sack out. How about it? I was speaking about the Unison Research Excellent products. Yeah, right. Unison Research, brother. I'm picking them up. I have that brand now. It's in my. I'm gonna start doing a couple videos. They're great products and they're a great price. Made in Italy. Okay, Nikki. Later, brother. Taz, is esoteric overpriced garbage? It's not garbage, but it is very expensive. But esoteric is very lacking in soul to me. It's very soulless. It's like MSB, just like this perfect, it's too perfect and polished and shiny and like, but it's yucky. It has no soul, man. It's like sterile. That's how esoteric is to me. I don't think esoteric is that great at all. I would never own it. How much does linear power supply upgrade help the Roland Eris? Like freaking night and day, dude. It's like it turns it into a whole nother animal. It makes it like world class. It really takes that DAC up. We'd like to watch a Damon review. I know. I'll do that later this week or next week. Okay, I'll take you guys there. Older sim audio. Yeah, I like older sim audio, man. I mean, the correct upgrade path, Jeff Rowland. Cheers, TB. Chris likes the Mac out with the sack out. That was pretty good for off the cuff, wasn't it? I'm good like that, man. Oh man. Fag out with the bag out. I don't think we're gonna do that one. Oh man. All right, I'm getting tired, guys. I'm gonna have to go. So thanks for joining, everybody. I appreciate you all attending. I am gonna take off. I've got to go lay down, drink some water. I've been talking too much. Hang out with the wang out. There you go. So that's it, man. Want to say goodbye. Thanks for joining, and I will catch you guys up soon. So good night, everybody. Peace. See you.